Chuck Todd is NBC's political director and moderator of Meet the Press. Chuck, good morning and a happy Sunday to you.
Good morning.
So listen, if you're a Democrat, right, you had good news this week. You saw a much better than expected jobs report. You saw the passage of the president's infrastructure bill. You've got kids eligible now to get the COVID vaccine. Yet it was Republicans, right, who had a strong showing in those off-year elections this week. Voters say they're worried about things like the economy. So, Chuck, what does this tell you about Democrats' messaging when it comes to what they're doing well?
Well, look, I think they've had a hard time meeting voters where the voters are in the moment. You know, Democrats will argue that what they're doing is stuff that voters want, that voters tell pollsters they want, and eventually they'll be rewarded for it. But in the moment, you know, whether there's anything they can do about it or not, and I get that some of this COVID economic drain on the country, when you have 70+% saying we're heading in the wrong direction, there's a lot of that going on, that some of this is out of the hands of the administration. But it is sort of, are they doing enough to sort of, to borrow an old Bill Clinton phrase, feeling the pain of the electorate, whether it's on gas prices? Are they looking like they're getting caught trying to figure out, okay, how can we help this gas price issue, the ports issue, right? They got on top of it for a day. They're coming back to it with infrastructure. I think that's something over time that will pay dividends, because I think the public wants to see, hey, what are you doing right now to make it easier for me to find stuff? You know, I think that's one of the issues here. It's like, look, I think there's clearly a supercharged Republican electorate. The Trump base can't wait to vote, just like the Democratic base, the anti-Trump base couldn't wait to vote in 2017. That is one factor. But when you look at the hit among independents, I think the party's got to ask itself, number one, are they meeting voters where they are in the moment right now? Again, in Virginia, had the issue with education. That wasn't about critical race theory, Hallie. It was about the schools being closed for as long as they were, right? Frustrated parents. So I think that's part of the issue there. And then another thing I got to ask himself is the elected Democratic Party in Washington farther to the left than the average Democratic voter? Because that's another thing that happened on Tuesday night. When voters were given a choice between sort of a moderate Democrat and a progressive Democrat in some of these city races, almost across the board, except really in one city, Boston, did the voters pick the more moderate Democrat.
Chuck, it's a good point. Thank you very much. We'll look for more from you this morning on Meet the Press. That's when Chuck will be joined exclusively by White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, and Florida Senator Rick Scott, the chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.